could you have voted for him, Roseanne?
He talked about jobs, Jackie. He said he'd shake things up. I mean, this might come as a complete shock to you, but we almost lost our house the way things are going.
Have you looked at the news? Because now things are worse.
Not on the real news.
Oh, police!
Roseanne 2.0, the big reboot with a mega rating success this week. ABC is poised to renew the classic 90s sitcom for a second season, but will people keep watching it? Despite its huge Hollywood comeback, a number of fellow comedians are not feeling the new Roseanne. So let me bring in my guest, Heather McDonald, comedian and former writer on Chelsea Lately, and she's also the host of the Juicy Scoop podcast. And with us, Harry Inton, CNN politics senior writer and analyst. And so, Harry, let me just begin with you on what you wrote for our CNN opinion piece, because, you know, back in the day, Roseanne used to be considered a pretty progressive show, right? That Roseanne Connor would have voted for Bill Clinton. How has she become a Trump supporter, and how does that mirror real-life demographics?
Well, essentially what we see with Roseanne Barr is she's still a very, liberal person. I think she probably would have voted for Bernie Sanders if she had the opportunity in the general election. But she is somebody, as with her character, she is a white person without a college degree. That show is based in the industrial Midwest. And these were voters that voted by about 10 percentage points for Bill Clinton in 1996. But then you switch all the way forward to 2016, and you see that Donald Trump carried those same voters, white voters without a college degree living in the industrial Midwest, by 30 percentage points. That's a huge shift. And so Barr and Connor both are emblematic of that, where we see white voters without a college degree shifting from the Democratic to the Republican column.
So those are the hard facts and the numbers. What about the opinions, Heather? This is where I wanted to ask you, because Roseanne Barr has been, known for retweeting and promoting some really out there right-wing conspiracy theories. I was reading some of these tweets from these prominent comedians this morning. Stand-up comedian Kumail Nanjiani actually tweeted, responding to Sarah Silverman's endorsement of the show, he tweeted the second part of his tweet: "I can't bring myself to watch a person who mocks teens, whose friends were murdered, who traffics in conspiracy theories that damage our world and reality." As a comedian, do you support Roseanne, the show and the actress?
I totally support the show. It's a great show. I have female friends that are writing on it that they wrote a show that reflected where the Connors might be today. And I thought it was brilliant. And whether you agree with Roseanne Barr's personal politics, you don't have to watch it. But just like the liberal comedians often are annoyed when conservatives say, we don't want to hear your politics, just shut up and say your jokes, she has the right to have a different opinion, and she has the right to tweet it just like every other American and still be allowed to entertain us.
I think it's important, too, even, on the show and in real life, right? She's this Trump supporter, but on the show, you have DJs in this interracial relationship. Darlene has a gender-fluid kid. Jackie's a Hillary supporter turned Jill Stein voter. I mean, is it fair to characterize these 18 million voters as supporters of Trump? Heather?
No, absolutely not. And I think it's great that they have those elements, because it also shows that someone that may have supported Trump and still supports Trump today are open-minded about social concerns and gender fluidity and the way they see their grandchildren and how they're adjusting to the differences in America. And because they may have voted for Trump because of what she said in that clip about jobs and economy, does not mean that they believe everything down the line of the Republican Party of today or yesteryear. People can have different opinions on things. You can be a Republican and be for gun control. I think it reflects that in the show, and I like that.
What about the president, Harry, to you? We know about the phone call. He's all about TV stars and ratings, and both of which was the show. And he called her up and congratulated her, and he's also taking credit for the show's success so far. Do you think he deserves it?
He does not need...
This is for Harry, for Harry.
Sorry.
No, I mean, look, Donald Trump will claim credit for anything. I think Roseanne Barr is a gifted comedian, and people tuned into that show for the same reason that they tuned in the 1990s, and it's a funny show. I mean, obviously the Trump angle has something to do with it, and I think that's why it was so successful. But at the end of the day, it's Roseanne Barr and it's the writers on that staff that were able to put on a successful program, and that's why people tuned in and why the show has been perhaps renewed for a second season.
Same question, Heather.
Yeah,
Does he get credit?
He doesn't get credit, but you can't blame him for being a little excited that one show put him in a somewhat positive light. in the last year and a half. I mean, nothing else has. So let him enjoy Roseanne with the 18 million people.
And to your writer friends on the show, I mean, congrats to them. An amazing outing with 18 million viewers. Do they feel the pressure to keep, you know, conspiracy theories, to keep all that at bay and to suck people in the next week?
I'm sure, like anybody, they would probably wish that she, just like Donald Trump, might control her more controversial tweets. But as far as writing the show, I think they were very smart to reflect this part of America within the family, and also include a part of America that maybe feels there aren't any shows that reflect them on TV right now, and they're going to watch this one. So I think it was absolutely genius.
Heather and Harry, thank you to the both of you.
Thank you.
Still